Welcome back everyone to another deep dive into the ocean's most mysterious creatures. Last time we barely scratched the surface of what's possibly hidden deep within our waters, waiting for that one discovery to completely change our world. From a gigantic plesiosaur-like creature encountered by a British patrol ship during World War I to a giant catfish believed to cause earthquakes, welcome to the Aquatic Cryptids Iceberg Part 2. Also, if this video can get 500 likes, I'll definitely upload part 3 next. Alright, let's get straight into it now with the first entry of Tier 1. Chessie. Chessie, the Chesapeake Bay monster, is a sea monster believed to inhabit the Chesapeake Bay. Described as a long, snake-like creature with small humps along its back, Chessie has been part of American folklore with claims of sightings dating back to 1936. The creature is often depicted with a horse or snake-like head and usually in dark brown or black color, moving with a serpentine motion that creates waves on the water surface. One of the earliest reported sightings was in 1936, where something reptilian and unknown, as quoted, was observed by a military helicopter's crew over Bush River, although this account is contested due to the timeline of helicopter development. Another significant sighting occurred in 1943, when two fishermen near Baltimore noticed an unusual object in the water, which they described as having a long body and a head shaped somewhat like a horse's head. Over the years, Chessie has been spotted by various witnesses, including a notable 1982 video recording by Robert and Karen Frew near Kent Island, showing a brownish object moving in the water like an aquatic snake. Despite numerous sightings, some have been attributed to other animals, such as manatees, known to occasionally visit the Chesapeake Bay area from Florida. Manatees, however, do not match the descriptions of Chessie, as they lack humps or snake-like heads and create smooth footprints on the water surface, rather than moving side to side. The legend of Chessie has also been embraced as an environmental icon, symbolizing the ecological health of the Chesapeake Bay area. In the 1980s, Chessie was even used by U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for educational purposes, featuring in coloring books focusing on the conservation of the Chesapeake Bay's resources. Despite the lack of concrete evidence to prove Chessie's existence, the legend continues to captivate the imagination of locals and visitors alike. Racetown Ray. In the depths of Racetown Lake in Huntingdon County, Pennsylvania, there lurks a mysterious creature known as Racetown Ray. This being, often depicted in old photographs as a large, shadowy figure just beneath the lake's surface, has sparked a wave of curiosity and speculation for decades. The saga of Racetown Ray begins with its earliest recorded sighting in 1962 at the old Racetown Dam, before the creation of the 8,300-acre man-made dam lake we know today. With depths reaching up to 185 feet, Racetown Lake provides a vast and mysterious habitat that could definitely potentially hide such a creature. Over the years, there have been numerous accounts of encounters with Ray, with descriptions suggesting it could be as long as 50 to 60 feet. The creature's diet is thought to be primarily herbivorous, resembling the feeding habits of manatees, which are gentle, plant-eating marine mammals. This theory is also supported by Jeff Cross, a wildlife biologist at Racetown Lake, who observed that the creature appears not to prey on fish or other animals, but rather contributes to the safety of swimmers and boaters by its peaceful nature. One particularly vivid account from a camper in 2005 or 2006 describes a close encounter with Ray while swimming early in the morning. The camper saw something large moving in the water and initially mistook it for a deer or bear because of the wave it created. However, the creature's ability to dive and re-emerge before swimming directly towards the camper, who then hastily retreated to the shore, suggests behaviors not associated with known wildlife. Also, Racetown Ray has garnered enough attention to attract investigations by television shows like Sci-Fi Channel's Fact or Faked Paranormal Flies. This episode explored the lake using sonar and night dives. Despite these efforts, the true nature of Ray remains a mystery, with theories ranging from it being a surviving prehistoric species to simply a case of mistaken identity with large carp known to inhabit the lake. Alkali Lake Monster. The Alkali Lake Monster, also known as the Walgren Lake Monster, is a cryptid legend from northwestern Nebraska, near Hay Springs. According to legend, the Alkali Lake Monster is an enormous beast that inhabits the waters of what is now known as Walgren Lake. Reports vary widely in the descriptions, but many agree that the creature could be anywhere from 40 to 100 feet long, bearing resemblance to an alligator with some variations. These variations include depictions of the monster having 4 legs, 2 front legs with a flipper in the back, or even a serpentine body similar to the Loch Ness Monster. A feature agreed upon by most accounts though is a large horn positioned between its eyes and a notable unpleasant stench. The first documented sighting of the monster dates back to a 1922 report in the Hay Spring News, with a significant encounter occurring in 1923 when a local man, J.A. Johnson, and his friends encountered the beast while camping by the lake. They described seeing a gigantic creature, nearly 40 feet in length with a dull gray-brown color, one horn on his head, and an alligator-like appearance. This sighting was followed by a loud roar from the creature before it simply vanished beneath the lake's surface, sparking interest in further reports in various newspapers across the country. Despite the thrilling tales and purported sightings, skepticism surrounds the Alkali Lake monster's existence. Investigations into the origins of these stories have suggested that they might be part of a hoax concocted by John J. Maher, a newspaper reporter known for creating sensational stories to boost his sales. Maher's tales of the Alkali Lake monster terrorizing locals and devouring livestock captured the public's imagination, which led to a flurry of supposed sightings and encounters. However, some locals and enthusiasts continue to believe in the monster's existence, attributing earlier accounts to indigenous legends and documented encounters, despite the lack of concrete evidence. Megalodon. The megalodon, which you probably all know, is often depicted as one of the most formidable predators to have ever lived, and is believed to have gone extinct over 2.6 million years ago. The fascination with megalodon stems not only from its massive size, which is estimated to have ranged from 33 to nearly 60 feet in length, but also from the mysteries surrounding its existence and the limits of human knowledge about the deep sea. In 1918, Australian fishermen reported an encounter with a gigantic, fully white shark speculated by ichthyologist David George Stead to potentially be a living megalodon. This story has since become a cornerstone of cryptozoological claims regarding the existence of the megalodon. The intrigue surrounding the megalodon has been fueled by historical incidents where animals thought to be extinct, such as the coelacanth, ended up being rediscovered, suggesting that the depths of the ocean, which are unexplored, could still hide unknown creatures. The Mariana Trench, the deepest known part on Earth, has also been a focal point for speculation about the megalodon's survival. Its remote and largely unexplored depths offer a possibility that creatures like the megalodon could possibly be living while evading detection. The discovery of life forms in the trench, such as the Osedex zombie worms and the frilled shark, highlight how much is still unknown about this dark and pressurized environment. These findings underscore the potential for other, even large creatures to exist undetected. However, despite the allure of the megalodon living in the Mariana Trench, the scientific consensus remains that this ancient shark is long extinct. The notion of its survival is often met with skepticism, attributed to either misidentifications or, hoaxes. UB-85 atrocity. The UB-85 atrocity involves the mysterious circumstances surrounding the German submarine UB-85 during World War I. The submarine, built by A.J. Wesser of Bremen, was launched on October 26, 1917, and was equipped for a crew of up to 34 members, including 3 officers. It carried 10 torpedoes and was armed with a deck gun, designed for a range of naval warfare activities. On her second patrol, UB-85 encountered trouble off the coast of Belfast, Ireland, on April 30, 1918. The submarine was forced to surface and was abandoned by her crew while under fire from the British HM drifter Coreopsis II, leading to their capture as prisoners of war. The official reason for surfacing was attributed to the submarine being partially flooded because of a semi-open hatch while evading attack. However, a more sensational account emerged from the interrogation of UB-85's captain, Gunther Kretsch, who claimed that the submarine had surfaced to recharge its batteries when it was attacked by a large sea creature. This creature was described as having large eyes and a skull-like head with glistening teeth, and supposedly clung to the submarine, causing significant damage that left it unable to submerge. This led to the crew firing their sidearms in defense until the creature released the vessel and then disappeared back into the ocean. The damage from this encounter reportedly made the submarine unable to dive, which is why the British were able to capture it so easily on the surface. The discovery of a UB third-class submarine wreck off the Galloway coast in October 2016, believed to be either UB-85 or UB-82, brought this story back into focus. Dr. Innes McCarthy, who identified the wreck, suggested that the discovery brings us a closer understanding to the true reason behind UB-85's sinking, be it mechanical failure or something more mysterious. Corfu Island creature. The Corfu Island creature, often referred to as a Grecian dolphin, is a mysterious figure in the world of cryptozoology. Originating from a peculiar sighting off the coast of Greece, captured in a photo by tourists, this creature sparked a whirlwind of speculation online. The image depicted a weird, dolphin-like entity that didn't match any known marine animal, leading to a plethora of theories about its identity. Suggestions range from it being a mutated dolphin affected by nuclear waste, an extraterrestrial being, to more grounded guesses like a type of pikefish or a manatee with an unusually long snout. The creature bore a striking resemblance to ancient cetaceans, particularly the Ambulocetus, known as the walking whale, which lived millions of years ago and showcased a fascinating transition from land-dwelling mammals to the whales we recognize today. Ambulocetus, which inhabited the early Eocene period in regions of what is now Pakistan, was adept both on land and in water, resembling a mammalian crocodile in appearance and likely employing a similar ambush strategy to catch its prey. However, all the mystique surrounding the Corfu Island creature was eventually demystified. Zoologist Dr. Darren Naish identified the creature as a normal everyday object, being a plastic freeboard fender, which is the device used to protect boats from damage, and it somehow found its way into the sea and ended up being misinterpreted because of its unusual shape and texture. Despite the anticlimactic resolution though, the incident underscores the power of imagination and the human tendency to find wonder in the unknown, since personally, if I didn't hear it was a hoax, I'd definitely lead towards an actual creature. It also highlights the importance of scientific inquiry and skepticism in unraveling the mysteries of our world, reminding us that not every unexplained sighting is a doorway to a hidden realm of mythical beasts or ancient survivors, but sometimes just a closer look at our everyday surroundings. Moving on to Tier 2, U-28 Creature. The U-28 creature is one of the most intriguing accounts in the world of cryptozoology, primarily because it doesn't come from usual civilian encounters with unknown animals, but from a wartime report by a German submarine during World War I. This unique sighting occurred following the sinking of the British steamer Iberian by the German U-boat U-28 on July 30, 1915. The encounter was later documented by the U-boat's commander, Friar Georg Gunther von Frosten, adding a layer of military precision and seriousness to the account. According to von Frostner's report, shortly after Iberian was torpedoed and sank in the North Atlantic, there was a massive underwater explosion, possibly caused by the boilers of the sinking ship exploding. This explosion reportedly threw a large mass of debris from the Iberian into the air, among which was an astonishing sight. A gigantic sea creature was seen amongst the wreckage. The creature was described as being around 60 feet in length with a crocodile-like head, large eyes, and a set of 4 limbs that resembled large webbed feet or flippers. The creature appeared momentarily above the water before disappearing into the sea along with the wreckage of the Iberian. This sighting of the U-28 creature stands out for several reasons. Firstly, it was reported by a military officer, lending a degree of credibility to the account not always present in cryptid sightings. Secondly, it's important to note the circumstances of the sighting, which was a violent explosion followed by the appearance of the creature, suggesting an unusual context that is not typical of other cryptid encounters. This has led to speculation that the creature might have been disturbed or drawn to the surface by the explosion, or that the sighting was a misinterpretation of the chaotic events following the sinking of the Iberian. Cryptozoologists and researchers have pondered the true identity of the U-28 creature, with theories ranging from it being an unknown species of large marine animal to a prehistoric reptile like a plesiosaur, which had somehow survived into the modern era. Skeptics, however, argue that the stress of combat and the confusion following the explosion might have led to a misidentification of known marine wildlife or debris from the ship. Despite the various theories and debates surrounding the U-28 creature, the account remains one of the most fascinating and mysterious episodes in the study of unexplained marine phenomena. And the lack of photographic evidence or further sightings makes it unlikely that the mystery of the U-28 creature will ever be definitely solved. Manipogo. Manipogo, also referred to as Winnie Pogo, is a cryptid reported to inhabit Lake Manitoba in Canada, with this legend closely resembling that of the Loch Ness Monster and British Columbia's Ogopogo. The lore of Manipogo dates back to around 1908, featuring descriptions of a serpent-like creature that's captivated the imagination of locals and visitors for over a century. This lake monster is often depicted with a long, muddy brown body, visible humps above the water, and a sheep-like head, with size estimates ranging wildly from 12 to 50 feet in length. The legend has been fueled by various notable sightings throughout the years. One early documented encounter in 1948 described a creature reminiscent of a prehistoric dinosaur, complete with a loud dinosaur-like cry. Another significant sighting occurred in 1957, where witnesses reported seeing a giant serpent-like creature in the lake. In 1962, two fishermen, Richard Vincent and John Confell, observed a large serpentine creature close to their boat, lending further credibility to the legend because of their familiarity with the lake's typical wildlife. Manipogo's lore extends beyond these individual sightings though, with a group of 17 witnesses in one instance claiming to have seen 3 Manipogos swimming together, suggesting the possibility of a whole breeding population. Despite these numerous sightings and the enduring fascination with the Manipogo though, there remains no concrete scientific evidence to substantiate its existence. The creature continues to be a significant part of local folklore, and the legend not only draws interest from cryptozoologists and tourists, but has also become an integral part of the culture of Lake Manitoba, inspiring an annual festival and contributing to the area's whole tourist appeal. Groot slang. The Groot slang, translating to Big Lake in Afrikaans, is a creature from African mythology, blending elements of an elephant and a serpent. This primordial being is said to have been a mistake by the gods, who split its kind into snakes and elephants, but left the Groot slang behind. It reportedly dwells in a lake known as the Wonder Hole or the Bottomless Pit in the Richtersveld, South Africa, a place rumored to be filled with diamonds and treasures. Tales of the Groot slang include eerie sightings and mysterious disappearances. Explorers lured by tales of riches in the Richtersveld have vanished, giving rise to speculations that they encountered the beast. Local folklore also speaks of strange sounds in the night and massive snakes seen by residents, attributing missing livestock and other peculiar incidents to the Groot slang. A notable legend involves an English businessman, Peter Grayson, who disappeared in 1917 while searching for the cave's treasures, fueling the myth of the Groot slang's lethal nature. Despite its fearsome reputation, the Groot slang is also described as intelligent and greedy, with a particular attraction to diamonds. Legends suggest that offering diamonds might appease the creature, although this is little consolation for those without such riches. The origins of the Groot slang myth are deeply rooted in African folklore, with ancient rock paintings possibly depicting encounters with this or similar creatures. While the existence of the Groot slang remains unproven, stories of its cunning, strength, and deadly allure continue to interest many. Namazu. The Namazu is a mythical creature that comes from Japanese folklore. According to the legend, the Manazu is a giant catfish that resides beneath the islands of Japan. It's believed that the movements of this enormous fish are responsible for causing whole earthquakes. The deity Kashima restrains the Namazu under the earth with a stone, but when Kashima's vigilance lapses, the Namazu moves, triggering earthquakes. This myth reflects the natural occurrences of earthquakes in Japan, a country that is particularly prone to seismic activity because of its location along multiple tectonic plate boundaries. The legend of the Namazu has been used historically to explain the unpredictable and often devastating nature of earthquakes. The creature was even worshipped as a god after significant earthquakes, as people sought to understand and mitigate the impacts of the natural disasters. The Namazu-e, which is a subtype of ukiyo-e, a Japanese woodblock print, often depicts the Namazu and became particularly popular after the Ensei-Ero earthquake of 1855. These prints somehow show the Namazu being subdued by Kashima or other deities, symbolizing efforts to control and prevent earthquakes. The belief that catfish can predict earthquakes due to their sensitive responses to minor tremors may have inspired this mythology. Mucky. Mucky, a name derived from Muckross, one of the lakes of Killarney in Ireland, is a mysterious creature said to inhabit these waters, drawing parallels with the famous Loch Ness monster, Nessie. The legend of Mucky came to prominence in 2003 when scientists conducting sonar scans to determine local fish populations detected a large solid object in the water, leading to speculation about a lake monster's presence. This object, described in one report as 27 feet long and snake-like, was found in the southeastern part of Muckross Lake, with no conclusive explanation for its nature, despite ensuring that the equipment was functioning normally. The monster's legend was further fueled by historical association with a gargantuan sea serpent rumored to live in the lake's depths. The presence of a nearby mountain peak known as Gognepist, or the Peak of the Serpent, adds another layer of intrigue, suggesting a long-standing myth of large serpent-like creatures in Muckross Lake. Despite these tales and the sonar findings, the true nature of Mucky remains a mystery, with no conclusive evidence to confirm its existence beyond folklore and speculative sightings. The creature has even attracted international interest, with the Japanese TV crew visiting the region in search of this elusive monster, although tourism efforts to capitalize on the legend have not been notably successful. Bao Nessie. Bao Nessie, often dubbed the Dragon of the North, is a cryptid reported to inhabit Lake Windermere in England's Lake District. It was first reported in 2006 by Steve Burnip, a journalism lecturer who described witnessing a straight line of broken water with 3 humps, about 20 feet long, moving up the lake. This initial sighting sparked interest in subsequent sightings, which just kept fueling the legend of Bao Nessie. Efforts to debunk Bao Nessie sightings often compared them to known animals like otters, Welsh catfish, pike, giant eels, sturgeons, and seals, which could be mistaken for a cryptid. However, these explanations typically fall short of accounting for the specific characteristics reported by witnesses, such as a long swan-like neck and serpentine head, features not attributable to animals just mentioned. The Welsh catfish, for instance, while having a serpentine appearance and reaching lengths of up to 16 feet, doesn't necessarily explain sightings of a creature with a long neck and head protruding from the water. Critics and skeptics often still remain firm though that the sightings could be misinterpretations of these animals, attributing overactive imaginations or optical illusions to the reports of Bao Nessie. Despite these explanations though, the detailed accounts and consistent descriptions of a large, serpentine creature with distinct features such as a long neck and swift movement continue to fuel the legend of Bao Nessie in Lake Windermere. Tier 3. Tahoe Tessie. Tahoe Tessie is a creature said to inhabit North America's largest alpine lake, Lake Tahoe, which spans Nevada and California. According to lore, Tahoe Tessie resides in an underwater tunnel beneath Cave Rock. The University of California, Davis Tahoe Research Group's founder, Charles R. Goldman, has suggested these sightings may be attributed to pareidolia or the mistaken identification of large fish species introduced to the lake. The legend of Tahoe Tessie has roots in the stories of local Native American tribes, notably the Washoe and Paiute tribes. These tribes told of water spirits or water babies that resided in the lake, possibly inspiring the tales of Tessie. The term Tahoe Tessie itself emerged in the 1950s, coined by newspaper columnist Bob Price, who drew inspiration from the Loch Ness Monster. Price's stories often depicted Tessie as a benevolent creature assisting people in trouble. Report sightings describe Tessie as a large, serpent-like entity with variations in its appearance, including descriptions of it having humps or fins, resembling a giant fish or eel, and estimates of its length ranging from 10 to 80 feet. Most of these sightings though have specifically occurred near Cave Rock, fueling speculation and theories about its lair. Despite the lack of scientific evidence supporting its existence, Tahoe Tessie remains a popular figure in local folklore and culture, even becoming a mascot for various Tahoe-based companies and a character in children's books and newspapers. And the overall legend of Tahoe Tessie continues to thrive, with purported sightings still reported in modern times. So hey, maybe one of you guys can see it one day, who knows. Bear Lake Monster. The Bear Lake Monster, a cryptid said to lurk in the depths of Bear Lake on the Utah-Idaho border, has intrigued locals and tourists alike since the 19th century. Originating from articles by Joseph C. Rich, a Mormon colonizer who reported secondhand sightings, the legend has since evolved into a mix of myth and tourism draw, despite Rich's later retraction. Described as a massive serpent-like creature with an alligator-like head and short, powerful legs, the Bear Lake Monster has been characterized as grayish-green, capable of attacking swimmers or pulling victims from the shore. Sightings have varied, with the creature often depicted as being at least 40 feet long. The most recent sighting, though reported in 2007, added a modern touch to the legend, with the man claiming to have encountered the monster while checking fishing lines at night. According to his account, he heard a growl and saw the creature staring at him before it disappeared into the water. This sighting, among others, has kept the legend alive, fueling speculation and interest in what might dwell in the lake's waters. Over the years, the Bear Lake Monster has made appearances in popular media, including TV shows like Animal Planet's Lost Tapes and Monsters and Mysteries in America, where it's depicted in ways that range from resembling a crocodile to a mosasaur. Some of these tales often venture into the realm of fiction though, with tales of epic battles between the monster and legendary figures like Pecos Bill. Speculation about the monster's true identity includes theories suggesting it could be a basilosaurus, a paddlefish, or a sturgeon, each offering a possible explanation for the sightings that have fueled the legend. The basilosaurus theory, for example, posits that the creature could have accessed Bear Lake via ancient, now disproven underground channels, supported by its known ability to withstand cold temperatures as evidenced by fossils found in Antarctica. Also, the sightings could be attributed to the rare appearance of large fish like paddlefish or sturgeon in the lake, leading to misidentifications. L'Ariosoro. The L'Ariosoro is steeped in the legends and folklore surrounding Lake Como in Italy. This mysterious creature is part of a couple of Italian mythical beings believed to inhabit one of Europe's deepest lakes, Lake Como, located about 50 kilometers north of Milan. The legend of the L'Ariosoro became widely known after a series of reported sightings in the mid-20th century, sparking interest and speculation about the existence of such a creature. The first notable sighting occurred on November 18, 1946, when two hunters near Colico on the northern shore of Lake Como claimed to have encountered a creature with harsh reddish scales, measuring between 10 to 12 meters in length, near the shore. Startled by the hunters, the creature quickly disappeared into the center of the lake with a sharp hissing sound. This encounter led to the creature being named L'Ariosaro after a prehistoric reptile, Lariosaurus balsami, whose fossils were found near the lake in the 19th century. Following this encounter, other sightings were reported over the years. In 1954, a creature with a round muzzle and webbed feet was spotted, and in 1957, sightings described a monster in the waters between Dongo and Muso, and another with a head resembling that of a crocodile. The most recent sighting though was in 2003, involving a giant eel-like creature, estimated to be 10 to 12 meters long, seen in Lesso. Skeptics, including researcher Giorgio Castigliolani, have proposed alternative explanations for these sightings, suggesting they could be misidentified animals like otters, pikes, or even a group of fish swimming together. Canvey Lake Monster. The Canvey Lake Monster story begins in 1953, when a peculiar carcass was discovered on the shores of Canvey Island, Essex, sparking discussions among the local community and beyond. This initial find was described as a marine creature with thick, reddish-brown skin, bulging eyes, and gills along with a pulpy head and leg-like fins. An eyewitness from the time recounted the creature's flesh as non-fish-like, more resembling wobbly human flesh with cellulite, leading him to mistake it for a mermaid at first glance. A year later, in 1954, another carcass was found by Reverend Joseph D. Olvers, adding to the mystery. This second find was even larger, over 4 feet long, with similar features to the first, including staring eyes and a sizable mouth. Despite the detailed descriptions and public interest, experts were baffled, with no concrete identification provided for the creatures. Locals speculated that they might have been anglerfish, known for their wide mouths and sharp teeth, though this didn't really align with all the observed characteristics. Further investigation into the phenomenon suggested that the Canvey Island monsters might have actually just been anglerfish or possibly frogfish, which is a type of anglerfish capable of using their pectoral fins to walk on the ocean floor. These creatures can appear quite bizarre with sponge-like bodies and sometimes reddish or pink skin, which would match descriptions of the Canvey Lake monster. The mystery was compounded by the quick cremation of the remains and the absence of official explanations, leaving room for speculation and theories about what it really was. Lukwata. The Lukwata is a mysterious lake monster reported in Lake Victoria, spanning across Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya. Cryptozoologists have debated its existence since the early 20th century, suggesting that the name Lukwata may have been used to describe various animals, both known and unknown, within the lake. Some believe the Lukwata could be the same as the Luo of the White Nile, indicating a regional overlap in cryptid sightings. The name Lukwata itself has unclear origins, with some interpretations suggesting it means giant or refers to a monstrous animal in the Ganda language. The creature first came into the spotlight through reports by missionaries and explorers in the late 1890s and early 1900s, describing it as a formidable beast dwelling in the depths of Lake Victoria. Eyewitness accounts through the years have varied though, with the Lukwata often described as a large, serpentine creature sometimes likened to a cetacean, a giant manatee, or a giant fish. One notable sighting in 1900 by Sir Clement Lloyd Hill described a near encounter with the creature. According to various sources, Sir Clement observed a creature with a long neck and a head that resembled that of a lizard or snake. This description aligns with local folklore about the Lukwata, but was particularly striking coming from a figure of Sir Clement standing. The creature's head and neck were reported to have emerged approximately 4 feet above the water surface before it simply submerged back into the depths of Lake Victoria. This sighting contributed to the body of evidence suggesting the existence of an unknown animal in the lake. Throughout the years, various stories have been proposed regarding the Lukwata's identity. Some speculate it could be a catfish or a type of lungfish common in Lake Victoria, which might account for some of the sightings. Others suggest the creature could be a large python or even a prehistoric relic that somehow survived in the lake's isolated ecosystem. Alright, moving on to tier 4, Ishi. Ishi, the elusive Japanese lake monster, is a cryptid reported to inhabit Lake Ikeda, a deep freshwater lake located on Kyushu Island, Japan. The lake, which is nestled within the caldera of an extinct volcano, serves as a backdrop for numerous eyewitness accounts of this mysterious creature. Among the most notable witnesses are Yutaka Kawaji and Hideo Kawaji, who both claim to have seen Ishi multiple times both as children and later in life. Yutaka Kawaji in particular reported 3 separate encounters, with the most significant sighting occurring on September 3, 1978, witnessed by a group of 20 people. This encounter involved observing large black humps moving through the water, estimated to be about 5 meters in length and rising about 60 meters above the water surface. In a dramatic attempt to capture evidence, Yutaka Kawaji chased the creature across the lake in a motorboat, although he was unable to catch up with it. This pursuit allowed him to observe the creature's humps briefly, reinforcing his belief in its existence. Further intrigue was added to the legend when Toshiaki Matsura, drawn to the lake by its folklore, managed to photograph what appeared to be 2 humps with spinal ridges in December of that same year. This photograph, which won a reward from the local tourism department, aligned closely with Kawaji's description of the creature, suggesting a consistent appearance and sightings. Also, the mystery of Ishi is compounded by Lake Ikeda's isolation from direct river or sea connections, leading to speculation about how such a large creature could have entered the lake. Theories include subsurface passages connecting to distant water bodies, although the exact origin remains a topic of debate. Despite the occasional capture of large eels and snapping turtles in the lake, none match the description or size of Ishi, leaving the true nature of the creature still a mystery. In 1991, there was even a videotape claiming to show Ishi, though opinions vary on whether it depicts Ishi or more natural explanations like swimming eels. Visitors to Lake Ikeda, though, can engage with the legend firsthand by viewing the Ishi statue and utilizing the observation platform, hoping to catch a glimpse of this mysterious creature themselves. Seljordsormen. Seljordsormen, also known as Selma, is a lake monster reported to inhabit a lake in Telemark, Norway. The earliest documented sighting dates back to 1750. Over 500 eyewitness accounts have been recorded, describing a large, serpent-like creature living in the cold, glacier-formed waters of the lake. The creature is often depicted as a significant part of local folklore and has even been incorporated into the town's coat of arms, symbolizing its deep cultural significance to the community. One notable sighting occurred on a calm morning when a couple, while boating on the lake, observed mysterious waves that seemed uncharacteristic of the otherwise still water. Despite capturing video footage of the phenomenon, the exact nature of what they saw remains unexplained, with some speculating it could have been caused by a natural phenomenon, such as underwater gas releases or floating logs. However, for many, this and other similar accounts reinforce the belief in the existence of Selma. Local leaders and residents, including those who have claimed to see the creature, continue to encourage reporting sightings to better document and understand the mystery surrounding Selma. This ongoing fascination with Selma has not only captivated locals, but has also attracted the attention of scientists and monster hunters. Inspired by successful expeditions to Loch Ness, a team of Norwegian scientists embarked on a mission to uncover evidence of Selma's existence in the late 1900s. Despite employing modern research techniques, including sonar and underwater photography, the creature remains elusive, with physical evidence yet to be conclusively documented. Agua. The agua, a cryptid from the lore of Appalachia, particularly around the waters intersecting West Virginia and Pennsylvania, has been a subject of intrigue and fear for centuries. Its most notable sightings occur along the Monongahela River, a place where legend and reported encounters paint the picture of a creature both fascinating and terrifying. One of the earliest and most chilling accounts of the agua dates back to 1745 in Marion County, West Virginia. According to local stories, a giant two-headed turtle, described as being about 20 feet long and weighing approximately 500 pounds, emerged from the Monongahela River. It's said to have attacked a 12-year-old boy who was fishing on the riverbank, dragging him into the depths from where he never returned. This particular sighting sets a precedent for the agua's fearsome reputation, depicting it as a formidable predator capable of preying on humans. Further sightings and stories shared by local communities reinforce the Ogua's presence in the collective consciousness of those living near its purported habitat. Descriptions of deep-slide markers leading from the water's edge into the surrounding land, presumably created by the Ogua's long, thick tail as it dragged its prey back into the river, have added a tangible element to the folklore surrounding this cryptid. The speculation regarding the Ogua's origins varies, with some researchers suggesting it could be a rogue alligator that ventured far north of its usual habitat, while others propose it might be an unusually large specimen of an alligator snapping turtle. These theories attempt to rationalize the sightings within the framework of known wildlife behavior, but do not diminish the allure and mystery of the Ogua as a unique entity among cryptid history. Old Greenie. Old Greenie is a legendary lake monster believed to inhabit Cayuga Lake, the longest of New York's Finger Lakes and the second largest in surface area. Stories of a serpent-like creature residing in this glacial lake trace back to the 1800s, capturing the imagination of locals and visitors alike. The lake itself, positioned about 350 feet above the sea level, reaches depths of up to 435 feet, providing a vast and mysterious habitat that could conceal such a cryptid. The lore surrounding Old Greenie gained notable attention in a January 5, 1897 article by the Ithaca Journal, which humorously reported the staff's reluctance to approach the water for fear of encountering the beast. According to local tales and eyewitness accounts, the creature has been described as a large, serpentine entity, drawing comparisons to sea serpents and stirring intrigue among the community. In 1929, reports evolved to suggest not one but two mysterious creatures lurking in Cayuga Lake, speculated to have possibly migrated from Seneca Lake to an underground channel, a theory later debunked by scientific study. Throughout the years, several encounters have perpetuated the legend of Old Greenie, including a 1974 incident where a teenager named Stephen Griffin claimed to have been attacked by the creature, resulting in a broken arm because of the creature's powerful jaws. One of the most compelling documented sightings, though, occurred in 1979 when Jack Marshall and his friends mistook Old Greenie for a fallen tree while boating. As they approached, the supposed log transformed it into a 30 to 35 foot creature before disappearing beneath the water's surface, leaving those present in awe and solidifying their belief in Old Greenie's existence. Theories about the Old Greenie's true identity varied though, ranging from misidentified lake sturgeons, rare but previously caught in Cayuga Lake, to hypothetical species of giant freshwater eels. Nonetheless, some eyewitnesses remain convinced that Old Greenie is neither fish nor eel, but something far more mysterious and perhaps even more terrifying. Kelpie. The Kelpie, a figure from Scottish mythology, embodies the essence of waterbound spirits that populate the rivers and lochs of Scotland. Renowned for their shape-shifting abilities, Kelpies often take the guise of a horse, but they can also transform into human forms to ensnare their unsuspecting victims. These spirits are notorious for their malevolent nature, particularly towards children and young adults, luring them with the appearance of a tame pony or a beautiful young woman, only to drag them into the depths to meet a watery end. The lore surrounding Kelpies is rich with tales of their cunning and deceit. For instance, one traditional story tells of a Kelpie luring 9 children onto its back, only for the 10th child to escape by cutting off its finger to free himself from the Kelpie's magical grip. The child escapes, but the others are not so fortunate, disappearing beneath the water surface, never to be seen again. This tale, among others, highlights the Kelpie's sinister delight in the drowning of its victims, a theme common across various stories within Scottish folklore. Despite their feared reputation though, Kelpies are also subjects of fascination, appearing in various forms of art and literature. They're even celebrated in modern times, as seen with the monumental steel sculptures known as the Kelpies in Falkirk, Scotland. These sculptures, standing 30 meters high, pay homage to Scotland's horse-powered industrial heritage while drawing inspiration from the mythical creature. Kelpies also share similarities with other mythical creatures across different cultures, such as the Nixie in Germanic mythology and the Nyker in Scandinavian folklore, all of which are associated with water and often possess malevolent traits towards humans. Interestingly, capturing a Kelpie could grant a person control over the creature, with legends stating that a Kelpie's bridle is the key to their power. Such a captured Kelpie could offer the strength and stamina of many horses, a trait highly prized if one could manage to tame the beast without falling prey to its deadly allure. The Kelpie's narrative is basically a cautionary tale against the dangers lurking in the water, serving as a reminder of the respect and wariness that the nature commands. Tier 5. New Delhi Celestial Serpent. The New Delhi Celestial Serpent is a compelling and mysterious phenomenon that was reported over New Delhi skies between May 28, 2008 and October 38, 2015. This mysterious entity has been associated with various UFO sightings in the region, sparking widespread speculation and interest. The first recorded sighting occurred on May 28, 2008, when an individual named Yekin, during a flight from New Delhi to Guwahati, captured images of a glowing anomaly resembling a coiled shape in the sky. This initial encounter set the stage for subsequent observations of similar mysterious phenomena over New Delhi. On April 28, 2014, another significant sighting took place. An eyewitness described witnessing a strange light that manifested as a yellow glowing ring, accompanied by bright red dazzle around its top half. This object appeared to float motionlessly in the sky, defying conventional explanations and further adding to the intrigue surrounding the New Delhi celestial serpent. The situation escalated on October 30, 2015, when multiple UFO sightings near the Indira Gandhi International Airport prompted a high alert among government security agencies. The Indian Air Force was even authorized to shoot down unidentified objects, highlighting the serious concern of these sightings. On this day, an Air Force officer reported seeing 3 UFOs over a runway, leading to a coordinated response from several key security agencies, although no conclusive evidence was found upon investigation. The strong reaction from the Indian government, combined with the frequency of UFO sightings across India, has fueled speculation about the existence of an extraterrestrial presence, possibly linked to rumored underground bases in the Himalayas. Overall though, the New Delhi celestial serpent remains an enduring mystery. Lake Pepin Monster. The Lake Pepin Monster, also known as Pepe, is a creature believed to inhabit the depths of Lake Pepin, a natural occurring lake on the Mississippi River bordered by Wisconsin and Minnesota. Tales of the serpent-like entity have circulated since the 1870s. The Dakota Indians, long before modern sightings, traded their birch bark canoes for sturdier vessels to protect against creatures in the lake that could puncture the thinner canoes, indicating ancient beliefs in a powerful inhabitant within these waters. Larry Nielsen, who was a local businessman, significantly increased public interest in Pepe by offering a $50,000 reward for undeniable evidence of the creature's existence. This move not only aimed at confirming the stories but also at boosting local tourism. Nielsen himself reported witnessing unexplained phenomenon on the lake, such as a large wake moving against the current, fueling speculation about Pepe's reality. Cryptozoologist Chad Lewis notes that reports of Pepe mirror those of the Loch Ness Monster, given Lake Pepin's small size and scenic surroundings. While some speculate that sightings could be attributed to large sturgeon or other known aquatic species, the history of sightings, including those by credible witnesses, leaves room for debate about the lake harboring a yet-to-be-identified creature. The legend of Pepe is more than just a tale. It has become a cultural phenomenon, with merchandise like t-shirts and mugs, and even proposed festivals celebrating the creature. Gloucester Sea Serpent. The Gloucester Sea Serpent, a mysterious creature reported in the waters of Gloucester, Massachusetts, was first sighted in 1817. This sea serpent, described as a colossal entity with a series of humps reminiscent of kegs along its back, was first observed by a skipper navigating the choppy seas of Gloucester Harbor. Its appearance, with a body estimated to be about 60 feet long, covered in black, shiny leathery skin, and moving in a caterpillar-like motion, left an indelible mark on the witnesses. The creature's head, likened to that of a serpent but as large as a horse's, featured a pair of dark eyes comparable in size to pewter plates, which just added to the overall fear-inducing presence. The creature's sightings, spanning from 1817 into the 19th century and even reported into the 21st century, have varied in description, with some accounts comparing its head to a turtle, horse, or even a dinosaur. This variation in eyewitness description suggests a creature of considerable adaptability and mystery. The widespread attention and numerous sightings led the Linnean Society of New England to compile first-hand accounts, culminating in a comprehensive report that remains a significant document in cryptozoological studies. Despite these efforts though, the Gloucester sea serpent's existence has been a subject of debate, with theories ranging from unidentified marine species to maybe even hoaxes. Turtle Lake Monster. The Turtle Lake Monster is a creature said to inhabit Turtle Lake in west-central Saskatchewan, Canada. Described in various reports as a creature that ranges from 3 to 9 meters in length, it exhibits a diverse appearance, sometimes scaly or smooth, without a dorsal fin and with a head that could resemble a dog, a seahorse, or a pig. This mysterious being has sparked a range of theories about its existence, including speculation that it might be a massive sturgeon or even a relic of prehistoric plesiosaurs that managed to survive in the lake's depths. Stories of the Turtle Lake Monster date back to pre-settlement days, with local Cree legends warning of a creature whose territory, when ventured into, resulted in people vanishing without a trace. Despite the lack of certainty regarding its appearance, the turtle lake monster has become a part of local culture, inspiring monster burgers and hats sold on the shores of Turtle Lake. Sightings have varied over the years, with descriptions ranging from it having a sleek otter-like body to tearing apart fishermen nets and terrorizing boaters. And on average, about once a year, someone claims to have encountered this creature in the Turtle Lake area. Experts and locals alike have pondered the true nature of the Turtle Lake monster. Some suggest it could be an unusually large sturgeon, a species known to inhabit nearby river systems and capable of living for decades, thus possibly explaining the sightings. Others speculate about the possibility of ancient aquatic dinosaurs like the plesiosaur having survived in the lake's depths. Despite these theories though, the true identity of the Turtle Lake monster remains a mystery, with the creature continuing to be a source of fascination and speculation among those who live near or visit Turtle Lake. On to the last tier now, tier 6, Lengbakkar. The Lengbakkar, deriving its name from the Icelandic words lingi meaning heather and bak meaning back, is a colossal sea monster from Norse mythology, described predominantly in the Over Odd saga. This creature, imagined as a gigantic whale-like entity, is known for its unique and terrifying method of ensnaring its victims. Residing in the chilling waters of the Greenland saga, the Lengbakkar would disguise itself as a heather-covered island, luring seafarers and their vessels towards what appeared to be a safe land. Unsuspecting sailors, thinking they had found a haven to rest or explore, would land on its back. However, this illusion of safety was short-lived. As soon as the crew set foot on it, the Lengbakkar would submerge into the sea, drowning those on its back into the cold, unforgiving waters. The saga narrates a particularly ominous encounter involving Over Odder and his crew as they navigated the Greenland Sea. Their journey, aimed at seeking vengeance against the troll Ogmandar Floki, led them into the dangerous waters inhabited by the Lengbakkar. The tale describes how they spotted what they believed to be an island and rocks, only to realize, thanks to the wisdom of their deck officer Vignir, that these in fact were the Lengbakkar and another monstrous sea creature, Hafkufa. Vignir's keen observation and advice prevented the crew from falling into the deadly trap set by these creatures, summoned by Ogmandar Floki in a malevolent attempt to thwart their quest for revenge. This narrative showcases the Lengbakkar not just as a mere monster, but as a formidable entity part of Norse mythology, embodying the perils of the sea and the unknown. Such tales served as cautionary stories, highlighting the dangers sailors faced and the mystical creatures that, according to legend, dwelled in the uncharted waters of the ancient world. Nyami Nyami. Nyami Nyami, often referred to as Zambezi river god or Zambezi snake spirit, is a central figure in the mythology of the Tonga people who reside in the regions along the Zambezi River. This creature is believed to offer protection and sustenance to the Tonga people during challenging times. Nyami Nyami is typically depicted as a male entity, embodying the appearance of a snake with its head of a fish, a whirlpool, or a river dragon, symbolizing his dominion over the Zambezi Valley and the river before the construction of the Karaba Dam. The narrative of Nyami Nyami and his wife residing in the Karaba Gorge as the god and goddess of the underworld is deeply embedded in the cultural heritage of the Tonga people. They perceive the construction of the Karaba Dam as a significant disruption, severing the connection between Nyami Nyami and his wife, leading to catastrophic flooding and numerous deaths during the dam's construction, events that were interpreted as manifestations of Nyami Nyami's wrath. Following the dam's completion, it's believed that Nyami Nyami withdrew from the world of humans, yet the Tonga people maintain the belief that he remains a protector of their community. The Kariba legend encapsulates the profound impact of the dam's construction on the Tonga people's way of life, leading to forced relocations and altering their traditional lifestyle. The legend recounts that catastrophic floods that occurred during the dam's construction interpreted as Nyami Nyami's attempts to reunite with his wife, causing widespread destruction and loss of life. These events further cemented the belief in Nyami Nyami's immense power and his displeasure with the dam's construction. Today, minor earth tremors in the Kariba area are often attributed to Nyami Nyami's ongoing efforts to reach his wife, illustrating the enduring presence of this myth in the cultural consciousness of the Tonga people. Each usage. The Each usage, a Scottish water spirit known for its malevolent nature towards humans, is feared as one of the most vicious water-dwelling creatures in Scotland. This spirit, which translates to water horse in English, is found in sea inlets and lochs, and is distinguished from the Kelpie by inhabiting bodies of waters other than rivers and streams. Unlike the generally mischievous Kelpie, the Each usage is described as significantly more dangerous, often taking the form of a horse or a man to lure its victims. When approaching as a horse, it's said that the Each usage can be safe to ride until it senses water nearby, at which point it will bind to the rider, drag them underwater, and devour them completely, leaving only the liver to float back to the surface. The each usage's desire for human woman is noted in several tales, where it marks any woman for certain victimhood. It can transform into a handsome young man to approach women, but can be identified by horse hooves or the presence of water weeds or sand in its hair. There are tales of the each usage being outwitted or fought against humans, but all stories underlying the danger it poses and the fear it inspires among communities near its supposed habitats. Its appearance varies too, with descriptions ranging from having a sharp beak or a narrow snout, like that of a sea turtle, to a more equine appearance with a long mane and tail, capable of changing color. It's also said to have webbed feet and a slimy coat, often black with a green tinge. The belief in the each usage was so strong that in 1870 an effort was made to trawl Loch Nan Dubarachan on the Isle of Skye to find it, although the search was unsuccessful. So that ends the video. I hope y'all enjoyed, and let me know any feedback in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.